I posted this 3 hours ago because it just came into my head. And actually, this J.K. Dobbins stuff was kind of coming out. Right. We actually touched on it a little earlier. I'll just play a little blurb of this so we don't get absolutely wommed on.
Looking right around, Huntley reaches. Oh, that ball's out. That's live. Back the other way, Sam Hubbard, the Cincinnati kid. Hubbard, the 20.
So a lot of people are talking about this as well. Little block in the back.
At the 30.
Definitely a block in the back.
Listen, bro, if it's rigged and the refs are told to like let people score, you just don't throw that flag right there.
So we had Dobbins come out and say post game. I couldn't find like him actually saying it. He pretty much said, I'm a guy who feels like if I'm on the field all the time, I can help this team win. And I wasn't. It's the playoffs. Why am I not out there?
13 carries. It's the playoffs.
And then this is like the statement that's kind of going around big right now.
Oh, yeah,
If we would have had Lamar, we would have won too.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that.
I think you think it, but I don't think you say that, bro. I don't know. Like that just... I don't know. You don't just like that's just like that's so much shit on Huntley. Yeah, that's just like saying fuck you, Huntley. I don't like you. Why do you? I don't know. Like,
I kind of think it reminds me of what Hollywood Brown said last year. Hollywood Brown's exact quote last year when he was on the Ravens was, what's the point of having soldiers if you're not going to use any of them? I think the Ravens offensive scheme, there's a lot of frustration from all the skill positions. They got an XFL fucking wide receiver room. And you know why? Because they don't use any of them. They run a very archaic offense style. It is moderately effective. I think it looks more effective because their defense is so good. I do not think the offensive scheme works. I think Lamar Jackson propped up that offensive scheme, made it look a lot better than it was. Right. And also Lamar Jackson can make any offensive scheme good. Lamar Jackson's amazing. But then when Tyler Huntley's in there and you're calling these dog shit plays to get 2-3 yards every single time, you're not using your wide receivers. Mark Andrews isn't getting the ball as much as he should. J.K. Dobbins is only getting 13 carries. Now, my point about maybe J.K. Dobbins saying 13 carries, I don't think that's a very good argument. Saquon Barkley got 9 carries. He had 2 touchdowns with his 9 carries, and the Giants won. Right. So I don't think there's anything wrong with 13 carries. In the Ravens offense, there might be. And yes, if you do have Lamar, you win. But I think overall, I just think the Ravens' whole offensive scheme is shit. And Hollywood Brown was talking about it before, and J.K. Dobbins is frustrated with it. And I think J.K. Dobbins' point to Lamar is not, I don't think it's shade on Tyler Huntley. It's just like Lamar ran this whole fucking offense.
Right, yeah.
And without Lamar, it crumbles, and you can see all the holes in this offense because it's just a whack offense.
That moves us on to what's going to happen with Lamar. Do you think he will stay with the Ravens? No. He didn't travel with the team to that last game.
What?
Really? Yeah, he did not go to the game. Some people are saying it's because of if you fly, it can cause swelling, so he shouldn't be flying.
That's true.
Some people say he should have been there. That just shows that he's breaking up with the team. They're going through some stuff in the locker room. Why isn't he supporting his team in the playoffs? This is a big game.
Right.
Where do you think he'll go? Do you think he's staying on the Ravens? Do you think he's out of there? His contract has been up in the air like all season. I don't know if they ever... I pulled up what his contract is. I'm not sure if they've even come to an agreement ever on what's going on with him getting paid.
Well, that's because this is his original contract when he was the last first round pick.
Yes.
And he wasn't projected to be that good. And this is why teams, they want to build through the draft. Because imagine Lamar's on a supermax. You never have the money to go sign Roquan Smith. They paid Roquan Smith from the Bears, their linebacker, who's great, $20 million. Lamar is not staying. Baltimore doesn't have the money for him. And I think that's a big part of the reason that he is, I'm not going to say milking. That's not right. The injury that Lamar has is a bad injury.
Yes.
But if Lamar was in Jalen Hurts' position, Lamar would play right now. Where the Philadelphia Eagles are the 1 seed, that team is getting ready to pay him a fuck ton of money. And Jalen Hurts was hurt too. I know their injuries are different, but I think Lamar could have played.
Yeah,
I think he is choosing to rest on it because he is not coming back to Baltimore. He does not believe that Baltimore is giving him what he needs to succeed.
Like you're saying, like if they were actually, like the Ravens actually felt like, or he actually felt like they had a chance to win.
If the Ravens were like full balls deep on Lamar, they had got him a wide receiver instead of Roquan Smith. They're saying, hey, we're ready to pay you a supermax. We are ready to win with you right now. I think Lamar could.
Yeah, I saw Robert Griffin came out and he said Lamar's making the right move because he played and never played again when he tore his shit. So
that's actually what I was thinking of.
Yes.
And it's like RG3 played because he loved his team and he had faith in that team and they knew that they were surrounding him. I don't think Lamar feels like that. Yeah. But let's look at those odds. I want to see those odds for where he goes.
Yes, right here. So they're kind of different everywhere I looked, but this is in general. what it's looking like. I did see there was one site that had the Ravens at the top.
I think the Ravens should still be at the top.
Yeah.
A lot of times, I think people overreact about players like flopping. Like, it's still very realistic that he does stay in Baltimore. I don't see it, though. And I think a team that's missing from here is the Saints. I don't know what this team thinks. I know that the Saints are really tough salary cap wise.
Yeah.
Like, they are paying a lot of people a little bit too much money. I think it's a big part of the Saints' problem right now.
Yep.
But I think Jets and Saints are the real front runners for Lamar Jackson. I could see him on either. I think he'd go to New York, though.
That would be a nasty, dude. Imagine him throwing to Garrett Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
the
the Jets played pretty damn good, and they have shit quarterbacks.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
they got a solid defense. Yeah, that would be a nasty combo. I'd love to see him go to the Jets. I know we've talked about this before, and I did try and look it up, but I'm still a little confused on it. I have seen a few people say that the Ravens will franchise tag him.
NFL franchise tag, what you need to know. The franchise tag is a designation that allows NFL teams to select one player set to be an unrestricted free agent and guarantees another year under contract if certain conditions are met. Each team receives one franchise tag per year and can be applied as either exclusive or non-exclusive. If it is exclusive, the teams must offer the selected player a one-year contract, no less than either the average of the top 5 salaries at that player's position based on April of the current year or 120% of the player's previous year's salary, whichever is greater. So if the Ravens wanted to franchise tag Lamar, they'd get him for one more year, and they'd have to play him the average of the top 5 salaries at that player's position. At the quarterback position, it's going to be fucking like $30 million.
Yeah.
So they'd have to offer him a one-year, $30 million deal, or if it's non-exclusive, they must offer the selected player 1 year, no less than the average of the top 5. How do exclusive and non-exclusive tags differ? The two big difference between an exclusive and non-exclusive franchise tag is the incorporation of salary versus cap hit and who holds negotiating power. A cap hit is similar to the salary, but it takes into account all expenses that go towards the team's total salary cap. The rest of that shit's over my head, but if they want to franchise tag Lamar, they're going to have to pay him about $30 million for 1 year. And then he'd be a free agent after that.
Gosh, you would think the Ravens just would die to have him. You need a good ass quarterback, especially I saw this somewhere in the AFC, dude. You have Josh Allen, you got Patrick Mahomes, and you have Joe Burrow, and now T-Law is starting to show out. You have
Tua,
all of those,
and Herbert.
Yes. Yeah, you have all of those quarterbacks to go against, and then throw the Raiders in there. And if Tom Brady likes to sauce over to the Raiders, then you're going to have Tom Brady in the AFC. Holy shit. The Ravens, I mean, if you're the Ravens, you throw a fat bag.
Well, here's the problem.
I don't know.
Here's the problem if you use your franchise tag. So you get him for one more year, right? And then he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Are you ready to win next year?
Right.
I don't think you've given Lamar I mean, unless you draft a wide receiver for him or give him more options or change the whole scheme or clean house or do something, I think it's going to look the same. The Ravens are not going to look any different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have Lamar. Yeah, you're going to have a great defense, but your scheme's still going to be that? Mm-hmm. Is that still how you're going to run the offense? You still got an XFL wide receiver room? You know, I think you got to put pieces around Lamar, and if they can do that, maybe a franchise tag him and go balls deep next year, and after that you say, sorry, Lamar, but we can't pay you. We're going to have to reset and try with somebody else.
True, yeah.
Because, yes, the reason you do the franchise tag is you're like, we're in win mode right now. We will pay you this bag, but only for a year.
Yes.
Because if not, Lamar's going to go look for a Supermax 5-year contract with somebody. And then the only other thing, a great landing spot, yes, is the NFC South. Atlanta Falcons, you could take over the NFC South. The NFC South is shit right now. You could take that division over. But that's a personal question for Lamar Jackson. Does Lamar Jackson want to get paid? Does he want to stay in Baltimore? Or does he want to win? If he just wants to win, I think the obvious answer is you go to the NFC South. You do not go play for the Jets if you want to win, because you got to take on the Bills twice a year, the Dolphins twice a year, and the Patriots twice a year. You go to the NFC South, you take on the Panthers, the Saints, and the Buccaneers twice a year, who probably now don't have Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'm going to the NFC South if I want to win football.